Welcome back to Project Geekology. This is episode 164, and today we are talking about becoming our own man, specifically with Rada the Hutt. This is a movie all about Jabba the Hutt's son, called Rada and the Hutt. And I don't know where this is going. I'm blabbering. We're talking about Mandalorian and Grogu, the new movie, the new Star Wars movie that is currently in theaters. We have all seen it, and we have all decided we have thoughts on it, and we will talk about it for, between 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Who knows? Well, we're going to talk about it, but before we get into any of that, my name is Dakota. I am one-fourth of our hosts. I am joined, as always, with
Anthony, and we gotta talk about Rada. And joining us on that is
Rich, exclusively played by Lucasfilm, to be positive about the following movie that we're going to review. But we can't do that alone. We're also joined by...
Hey, I'm Jen, guys. How's it going?
What's your name, Jen Guys?
Jen. That's my Star Wars name.
I'm Jen Guys.
Jen, guys. Jen, guys the Hutt.
So we have a new Star Wars movie. It is definitely a film. You can watch in theaters, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. Before we jump into that, though, what have we been up to this past week? I've had a crazy week, and I don't really want to talk about it too much, so I'm going to throw it off to Anthony.
nothing too crazy, honestly. A new banner dropped in NTE for a character named Lacrimosa. She's almost kind of like a vampire because she can turn into a bat.
She's the one who's like addicted to like tomatoes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I like that one. Yeah, I actually have seen Dakota play with that one.
So she was officially released, and was it like after 20 pulls I got her, so I've been kind of assembling a team around her, and I've been literally this was just today that I did this, so I've been enjoying that. Just been watching a lot of One Piece. Well, actually, it comes in waves. Like, there's some days where I'll watch like maybe an episode or two, and then there's some days where I'll watch like 4 episodes or 5.
Heck, maybe even 6.
Sometimes, who knows?
Maybe
Sometimes
7.
Sometimes it do be like that.
I might. No, not 7.
Never
only 6.
7.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, so nothing too much crazy on this front. Yeah, we all saw Mandalorian and Grogu, which we will be covering. Dakota and Jen were the last in the group to see it, surprisingly, but we'll hear their thoughts on it later. We'll throw it over to Rich. Rich, you what have you got going on?
Let's see. Well, I mean, obviously there's always baseball, but we won't talk about that. I did download for free FC 26. I had taken a break from the FIFA series for a while because I became a degenerate and I was playing too many games. Because FIFA really, I mean, if FIFA Ultimate Team, like the baseball game, has a mode that I play called Diamond Dynasty that, it essentially is the same, where you're unpacking cards and then you can use them. But it's a lot more forgiving, and even though the community has been complaining, the FIFA, or I should say FC, it's no longer FIFA, they lost the title, is honestly just so engineered for money that the only way to earn things is to just dedicate your life to it. So I had to take a break for about 4 years. But the World Cup's coming up, and I can't not have a soccer game when the World Cup is here. So I downloaded it. It was available for free through the PlayStation. I have like the PlayStation Pro, or the store membership. I think I've got the second tier or something. So I got that in preparation for the World Cup. I'm excited. It's fun to play that mode and kind of get into it. So I'm looking forward to when they release. They should be releasing it soon, as the World Cup is starting. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then, I don't know about you guys, but this whole physical media thing is, I don't like the fact that some, even with PlayStation, it's not a big deal, but they have this new thing where every 30 days minimum, you have to connect to the internet to make sure that you renew your license for a game. And I run a setup at home where Charlie's system upstairs is a PS5. His account is under mine, but I basically kind of download the games up there after I install them on mine, and his becomes like the anchor PlayStation almost. So if we've had times where we lose the internet for a couple of days and I can't play any of the games that are connected to that are downloaded from the PlayStation Store. So today I got an Amazon package and I surreptitiously was opening it. My son goes, "Why would you need to buy Red Dead Redemption 2 when you already own Red Dead Redemption 2, Dad?" Just like out loud, like as my wife is in earshot. And I'm just like, "Why would you?" I was like, "Do you want to know why?" Because I'm concerned that if we lose Wi-Fi for an extended period of time or there's a zombie apocalypse, I won't be able to play my favorite game in the world. So I had to buy a physical copy. So I am excited to say that I randomly bought a PS4 copy of Red Dead Redemption 2.
I don't think internet will be your issue. I
Very
think
nice.
electricity would be your issue.
I've got a son, and I plan to use a bike, and he's going to make sure I can play video games. That's why I have progeny. That's why you do it.
You're just gonna create energy,
Dude, you know what? How do you think early farmers like made it? You know, like they just had lots of kids and they just made them
I
farm.
don't think they played video games.
I don't think they were collecting electrical
You know what?
current.
I'm going to just throw it over to you, Dakota. I don't think we should discuss this any further. Facts
Fair
are
enough.
like facts are for the wind. All right, like I don't need that.
Jen, what have you been up to?
Well, you guys know like that round in Mario Party where like you like pump a little box or something, or you press a button and then you just see this balloon growing and growing and growing. That's kind of what I've been doing. I've just been watching myself expand. My unborn child continues to grow at an astronomical rate. I'm short, and I don't think he has any room left, but he keeps proving me wrong. So I have another month of this, and I'm really curious to see. I think I'm gonna win this round of Mario Party because I'm getting huge blimp size, and that's what I've been up to.
Dakota,
it's concerning.
Do you
I
swear?
asked my doctor. I was like, I can't possibly continue to grow, and she was like, "Oh yeah."
She's like, "Oh yeah, this is where the fun begins."
Dakota, can you swear on this podcast that while you're in the hospital on the day you'll go ooh bah, ooh
He's
bah.
already done that to me.
Oh yeah, like in episode 3,
Yes.
with the nursing droids, the maid droids.
Yes.
Ooh bah, ooh bah.
I'm like,
It
really,
is like a very like comforting sound. Like
It is a
I don't-
comforting sound.
I've always thought, even when I was a kid, I was just like, ASMR doesn't exist yet, but when it does, that's my trigger. That's a tingle for me. Anyway, yeah. So you feel like Mario Party?
I'm like ready to start speaking Huttese. I'm like Yawanawnga. Like I'm like I'm there. Like, this is-
Rich. I'm like Park Deli.
I can't do this anymore.
What have you been watching?
Here we go. I mean, guys, you consume a lot of media. I've been watching the same shows as last week. I'm still watching Sopranos and Gilmore Girls. More Gilmore Girls than Sopranos. I'm on season 4 of Gilmore Girls. Rory's going to Yale. Dave Rogowski left. And this is usually the time where I depart the show, because if you know, you know, unfortunate things are about to happen. And I think I might just go over to the OC and watch Dave Rogowski turn into Seth Cohen.
Yeah, we have been watching some other stuff too. You've been starting up season 3 of Only Murders in the Building.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about
We started watching a Apple TV series that's called Widow's Bay. That is a horror series, but it's also humor, which doesn't seem like it fits. And people are comparing it to something like like a lot of people are saying like it's a Twin Peaks type show, but it's very different. I would say it's more traditional horror, but the humor is like really funny when it actually does land.
Yeah, it's just so scary for me. I'm a scaredy cat.
What's funny is that it's like most of every episode of this show is like Parks and Rec,
Yeah.
where you're just kind of following this guy, this mayor of this island, this like supposedly cursed island, and it feels like a Parks and Rec episode, you know, like it has that vibe. And most of the episodes are really light, or like most of the episode is lighthearted until they get to the crux of whatever it is that they are trying to, like they go to a hotel that everyone's saying like is super haunted, and so like the mayor's like, it's not haunted. I'll spend a night there, and it's just like the worst night of his life.
They do have like explanations,
yeah,
where it's like you could interpret it in different ways. Like it might not be haunted.
It might just be black mold, guys. Who knows?
Well, you know what? I wasn't going to tell him the end of the episode.
I wasn't. I was just a random thing that I said. It has nothing to do with the episode.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true, guys.
Anyway, Widow's Bay. Everyone's saying it's one of the best shows of the year. We've only watched 3 episodes. It is very good. I don't know if it's the best show of the year, but we'll see. Yeah, I think that's all we've been watching.
I don't know if I can watch anymore.
That's fine.
Because it's too scary for me.
Maybe I'll watch. I don't know. I have been reading, continuing my read of Dungeon Crawler Carl. It's kind of become an obsession. You know how like you get into something and that's all you can think about for a long time. Like if I get into Star Wars, I will read and catch up with all the books that have come out in the past 6 months that I left off on, and that's kind of where I'm at with Dungeon Crawler Carl.
I think we call that the TISM, right? When we just
it might be
dive.
just TISM.
Yeah,
it might be a TISM deep dive. Yeah, I am definitely in that TISM hole. It gets to a point where like you just start seeing Carl and Princess Donut everywhere. Like I'm watching Mandalorian and Grogu, and I'm like, wow, this is just like Carl and Princess Donut.
Come on.
You know? In many ways, actually, it is very similar. At least dynamic wise, the Princess Donut is a lot more the cat, the talking, walking crawler cat with magic missiles that come out of her tiara is more talkative for sure than Grogu, but they operate on a similar wavelength where Carl needs to protect this creature, and vice versa. The creature protects Carl. So anyway,
Dakota said I'm a lot like Princess Donut, and I don't know how to feel.
Nowadays, I'd agree.
Occasionally she'll say, like Jen will say something that is just like, you know what? You definitely are like Princess Donut. I forget what I said exactly that was like the example of that, but anyway, it means nothing to you listeners because a lot of people are reading the series. It's one of like the fastest growing series right now. And somehow my mom's on book 4 already. Like she learned about it like 2 weeks ago, and she's on book 4.
She's a really fast reader.
Wow. Yeah, she is. How's she liking it?
Oh, she loves it. Yeah, no, she's because she's not a huge gamer. Like she played World of Warcraft for a little bit, and that's pretty much the only game I think I've ever seen her play. This is only like tangentially like World of Warcraft in the sense that it's like a massive multiplayer online thing, but it's in real like IRL for these people. And like the chat features, like with the guild and party chats, it's kind of like World of Warcraft in that sense. But other than that, it's very different. I just started book 6, The Eye of the Bedlam Bride, and it's really funny, man. They basically, for the floor that they are on now, which is floor 8 of the dungeon, they had to choose a random starting country. So like they took a snapshot of Earth like a month before the world collapsed, and you choose like your starting location for floor 8, and they had an item in their inventory that was a quest item that had something to do with the Bahamas. So Carl's like, all right, we got to choose the Bahamas. And because Princess Donut has most charisma, she's the party leader. So she goes to choose, and she chooses a random place in the Caribbean, and she chooses Cuba. And it so it's just mayhem. And now they're like fighting really racist mobs in Havana.
Mi gente.
Racist caricatures of mobs in Cuba. Anyway, it's a really, really funny book. Good time. Otherwise, I've had a terrible week, guys. I have lost access to my YouTube channel. It is no longer on YouTube. I was unfortunately caught up in a phishing scam for those of you who don't know, phishing is when you're basically scammed into revealing your password in some creative, insidious way. And basically, like, someone came up with the notion that if you prey on people's fear, it works better. And, you know, if you're a YouTuber, you're scared of being not only copyright claimed, but copyright striked, which, you know, 3 strikes and your channel's gone forever. So I saw, like, that my channel got striked twice, and, like, in my emails. So I clicked the link, and I'm trying to figure out what the heck I could have possibly sampled that this guy was, like, striking my video for. And it looked just like the YouTube studio backend. But like some things were blurred out, and I needed to, like, sign into the account. So I signed into the account, and, like, 10 seconds later, I was completely locked out of my Google account. They changed my phone number. They changed my recovery email, all my, like, security passwords and questions. I had no means to recover the account, and it was very quick. And they posted something on YouTube, which YouTube noted as spam, and they basically just removed the channel from YouTube. But I'm in contact with Team YouTube. They finally got back to me today.
Thank
just
God.
before the podcast, actually.
Perfect.
Nice.
So
Did they DM you?
They DM'd me. Yeah, they messaged me. They basically said, I know this is a really stressful time. We'll DM you with our next steps. And basically they asked for, like, a secondary email which they can send more information to. And I sent that to them, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Perfect.
Must have been my 500 followers, buddy.
Yeah, man. The fishing is insane. They've been getting better at it just over time. And with the existence of AI, that doesn't help it out either. People can make super convincing web pages, like, just really in a matter of seconds. And so, I mean, I could see why. For those of you out there that have anything, just be wary. Be wary of also spoofing. People can copy, like, bank numbers, and they can call you directly. Just know that your bank will never ask for any personal information, and usually they won't really, like, call you outright unless you have, or if you have something set up that, you know, for, you know, if you make purchases and they send you texts and all that stuff, then yeah, that's normal. But they really won't normally call you about, like, you know, potential, like, I guess purchases on your account. Usually they'll probably, you know, like, send those, like, texts, but always call them directly if you're not sure, or if you get, like, an email or a call. Usually if you get a call from your bank and they say something about your account, like, you know, being scammed, then hang up there and then call them back, because it could be somebody spoofing.
What I think is,
Spoofing,
like, so frustrating about this experience is, for Dakota, it was, like, super early in the morning. Like, it was, like, 6 a.m, and, you know, like, we're having a baby. Like, it's a stressful time. He had, like, he was working the day before all day, so it just, they do prey on your fear. And the payoff for the scammers is just so small that I don't even understand how this is, like, worth it for them. So, like, they did all of this, right, just so that they could post a couple of videos that immediately got taken down as spam. And I looked up a bunch of experiences from other people, and it seems like that's always the case. Like, they'll just post a couple of videos and it almost always gets flagged and removed pretty quickly. And, like, you could really ruin people's lives. Like, people have been banned from their accounts or barred from their accounts for, like, months on end, or unable to recover them. And that's some people's source of income.
Yeah.
Yeah, thankfully with YouTube, I do make money off of it, but it's not anywhere near, like, a living wage. But there are people who make a living off of YouTube and you know, social media. So if you take that away from them, that's their livelihood. That's their, and you have no idea when you're getting that back, because I've seen people who or doing what I'm doing and getting into contact with YouTube like day of, and just like hounding them, and they don't get their channel back for a couple weeks. So if you're not super like tech savvy, if you have no idea what you're doing, that could be permanent. Like you just might think that you could never get your channel back, especially if you're like an older person or whatever. So it's really frustrating. It was a bad start to the week. It was a Monday.
Yeah, no, I was thinking that same thing. I was like, man, that was early in the morning. You're probably a bit tired, so that didn't help.
I think what really helped was in his post today, Dakota wrote, and I quote, "Help me, Team YouTube. You're my only hope." And honestly, like, I was like, that's perfect. It's going to work. And hours later, they finally responded. I mean, you just needed to appeal the way that Princess Leia would, which is a perfect lead-in to the rest of our episode.
I think it is, yeah, because we get a lot of Princess Leia in this.
Tons,
in this
bro. So much.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. Are you guys excited?
Very excited.
I'm a little excited. Yeah, it's not every day you get to talk about a new Star Wars movie. I'm gonna let you guys start it off. Rich, you were paid by Lucasfilm to love this film?
I was paid handsomely by Lucasfilm. Look, I'm just gonna start by saying this, okay? I love Star Wars. I'm an English teacher because of Star Wars. I read Star Wars, all the books, the legends, all that stuff. Was obviously upset when Disney changed that stuff around. I am a little decidedly less analytical than some of my brethren, and I don't know the word for lady brethren in this instance.
Sisterland?
Brethera.
Yeah, I don't know.
Brethera.
So I'm just gonna continue, but I'm really very accepting of a lot of the content because I'm just so excited about the galaxy and the universe. Right? I just love it. I downloaded it as history. I went into this and, my wife and son came, and my son is indoctrinated and loves Star Wars as much as I do. I think we have to do a rewatch soon so he can be a little bit more, so he can remember more of it. He has it in broad strokes. My wife is not terribly a fan, but because Charlie gets excited about stuff, she does too. So like she watched Mandalorian. I think they watched Ahsoka. I always watch ahead of time because, they watch too slowly for me and I'm a mean person. But I'm telling you this, like, Lauren loved this movie. I heard her like giggling and getting excited during the movie in a way that like normally she falls asleep almost every movie we see for at least half an hour. She was like into all of this. And like Charlie was into all of this. And it just felt so fun. It's not complicated. It's not super layered or nuanced. It was just fun. I had a great time at the movies. I had popcorn. I got to hang out with my family and listen to them have a good time watching a movie in the universe of my favorite franchise. Disclaimer:
That's beautiful.
I have I have Boba Fett helmet. Charlie has a Mandalorian helmet, and Lauren has a Bo-Katan helmet that we have on display at all times in our house. So maybe we're the right audience for this movie. You're
the target audience.
And honestly, I'm so upset with you guys that I don't know their names by heart. But Babu Frik and Friends, my God,
We'll call them the Babu Frik Show. How about that?
Yeah, the Babu Frik Show is what I am enamored. Just hey Dakota, yeah, come on, Anthony. What did
Why
you
does that
think
sound
about
exactly
the movie?
like your Elmo?
The thing I like about them is that they kind of remind me of Minions.
Love them. All right, I'm gonna hand it off to whoever. Anthony, you want to take over before Dakota just brings it crashing down with reality?
No. I'm not going to bring it crashing down. I'm gonna keep it light. Well, what I will say, speaking about the Anzellans, the Babu Friks.
Of course, you flexing for the third week in a row. What was the other name that you were flexing on? It's a Jedi name like Babu da 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 da.
Master Iko Diodaki.
Damn it,
Yeah,
he got it.
that was a good one. Didn't roll off the tongue this time. The Anzellans, they are all voiced by the same person, and I think you guys will be very surprised when you find out who that person is. It's an actress named Shirley Henderson, and she's probably most famous for her role in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets as Moaning Myrtle.
No way.
Yeah, she's the voice of all of the
That's so
Babu
cool,
Friks.
man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Babu Frik
wild.
show.
Yeah, she got that
Yeah.
that like kind of minion babbling, like it's like babbling with bits of English in there.
Hey,
Yeah,
you got me. You got me.
I would have not imagined that was her.
Yeah, it doesn't actually sound like her. Like I knew this going into the movie, and I'm listening. I'm
And it
just like,
still doesn't sound
I
like
do
her.
not hear that. But I do love them. I think they were a really fun addition to the movie. I loved their little ship. You know, like you never really considered small
Aw.
ships like for other size races, but like it would make sense. Why would they need a ship the size of the Razor Crest or anything? No, they would just need their little.
They
Anzellans
wouldn't be
ship.
able to reach all the
I
buttons.
will make a small argument
Okay.
about that.
Yeah, go
it's
ahead.
just the fuel capacity, right? That's the only thing that concerns me. Like I understand
like,
that
how
the
did
deck
they
doesn't
get
have
there?
to be large, but like where are you keeping all the fuel to travel just as far as the Razor Crest?
They're probably using.
Yeah, but like
they're it's probably a bit. Their fuel's probably a bit different, and it's probably like really like fuel efficient. It's not like
Oh, it's like a
Mhm.
Prius.
you know.
Okay.
They've
Yeah.
figured out dilithium crystal stuff that you know the rest of the Star Wars.
I like their
universe hasn't.
speeder too. It was also tiny.
Yes.
they're the best.
Yeah.
They had so many great one-liners.
I told you we'd be back.
Hey, big guy, this round's on me.
Yeah, like so good.
Yeah, I like that.
I love
Was it Mando saved one of them? I felt so bad. He was being treated like a chew toy.
Yeah, that was so messed up.
I love when he's in the mouth of that like dog bat creature, and you could just hear, "He got me."
They were the best.
I thought that was so funny. I'm surprised he survived. You know, that did not look like a very like playful dog. I did like the scene where Grogu kind of charmed him. You know, like he used his like beast mastery like force skill. And almost made it a part of their party, you know, for a brief period until, you know, the charm wore off after Embo got, you know, thrown across the room or whatever. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with a lot of the movie, to be honest. Like there was a lot of like little things in the movie made me very happy. Perhaps my most excited moment, or like the moment where I was just like stunned, and I just never considered it, was when Grogu started making the mud hut, and I'm like, is that just innate with their species? Is that just something they know how to do? Is that why Yoda lived in that hut in like the swamp? Yeah, he made it. He just, you know, started like putting mud down. I had no idea what he was doing at first. I thought he was just like putting mud on a log or like covering Mando in mud for a second. I didn't know what he was doing. But as soon as I saw like the shape of the hut, I was just like, that's genius. That's such a cool lore. We know so little about Yoda's species that like every little thing that they can give us is just super exciting. Anthony, what are your thoughts on the movie? We haven't heard much from you in terms of just overall opinion.
So I would say like I'm probably like one of the few out of like the like hardcore nerds that that enjoyed it more than maybe I should have. I understand the gripes. I do feel like the movie felt like a mid-season. I guess you know how like they'll do like three, you know, like a 3-episode run of like a storyline. That's what this felt like. Maybe 3 or 4 episodes,
Like a serialized story. Yeah.
together. This is what that felt like. So I kind of understand that gripe. It definitely had like a one-off story kind of vibe to it. But other than that, I mean, I enjoyed the action. I mean, you got Mando, you got Grogu. Grogu was absolutely adorable in this movie. You get a lot of growth from him too. You see a lot of the abilities that he can use, and really like how smart and like resourceful he's actually become also. And that, you know, that could be part of his species. That could be part of the time that he's spent with Din Djarin. But there is definitely a lot, kind of like what you said, that there is a lot that I had fun with in this movie, and there was a lot to smile and be happy with in this movie, aside from, like, you know, the gripes.
Sorry, go ahead,
Yeah,
Rich.
just about the gripes, and like, you know, I'll just lay it bare what I think, and you know, we'll obviously go through the movie, but my thing is, like, I understand that it's not, it was there, you know, okay, there almost felt like there were no stakes, right? That there was no like threat to anybody here. There was no major new.
Din Djarin gets poisoned.
Well,
They're not going to kill off the
yeah, and also like if
titular first.
see, that's the thing. Like, so it does reward people who watch the show, right? But I think it's an interesting entry point, because basically, like, if you've never watched the show, you can still really enjoy the movie, right? And I think that's kind of what's important about it too, because, like, say for example that Disney had actually released Skeleton Crew, right? We've been clamoring as a Star Wars universe for what? For content outside the Skywalker saga, right? And then we get something that's outside the Skywalker saga like this, generally, right? Like, there was no, they weren't in this movie, and then it's like, well, that's not good enough. And I'm okay with taking a step out and doing something fun. I loved Skeleton Crew, right? Like, that was just fun, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was well done, and I think the same thing here. Like, I think this was fun. Like, it didn't have the gravitas of Revenge of the Sith, you know, but I think that if we're going to have an expanded Star Wars universe, it's okay for us to have a movie like this. I think the problem is that it's the first one in 7 years. So everybody wanted, you know, like a Rise of the Skywalker or whatever, Last Jedi type thing.
I didn't want any of that.
Well, no, yeah. I think some people wanted, like, the gravitas, that the intrigue, you know, that we saw in Andor, and I don't think that this was ever going to be that. It's like getting Crocs and being upset that they don't look like tuxedo shoes. Like, you got what you wanted. Like, that's one thing, and this is another thing.
But who ordered Crocs?
All right, we're getting off topic here. There was a croc-like dude in that swamp.
That's true.
Yeah, it was like,
for me when I was
it was like somebody in the bayou, right? Like, it had some like Louisiana vibe going on, like somebody living on
I actually like
the
that.
bayou
I like that
fishing.
guy. I like the vibe of that. But
did we ever find out who voiced that?
I'm sure we can easily figure that
It
out.
felt like
it sounded like
me.
something like we would recognize.
Gambit.
Wait, actually, or are you saying that?
No, I'm just
No, he's just saying.
Mon ami.
Yeah, for me, like, I know when a Star Wars movie comes out, I'm extremely biased and I'm gonna enjoy it. You know, when you look at the people who were making it, I knew they were gonna put in a bunch of stuff that I thought was really cool and interesting. Like, I'm definitely somebody who's going to enjoy a Star Wars movie because I love Star Wars. So for me, you know, going in kind of hearing that this didn't do super well, it's not like performing very well in the box office, was like, you know, sad, because I want to see a Star Wars movie take off, and I love these characters. But for me, the real, like, I started looking at the people in the movie theater with us to kind of see what they were there for. You know, I was sitting next to this woman who clearly was there for Baby Yoda. Every time he was on the screen, it was almost like she was doing a trailer reaction. Every time he was on the screen, she was like oohing and eyeing, literally aloud. He's so cute. Oh my God. Oh, look at him. Oh, look, he's using the Force. Oh, and she was kind of being annoying because she just wouldn't stop talking. But then one thing that I noticed was every time there was like a fight scene, she would just go to her phone. Like she couldn't handle this many fight scenes. Like it was just too much for her, you know? So like she would be like super engrossed. I've never seen someone be like 100% engrossed in a film. And then as soon as Baby Yoda like leaves and they start fighting, she just like would pick up her phone and just start like playing on it. And I was like, huh, that's interesting.
I do think, even as someone who doesn't usually like mind fight scenes, there was a lot of fight scenes.
There were a lot of fight scenes.
Like it was kind of an exhausting movie in certain aspects, where I was just like, oh, here we go again. He's gonna hit something again. Oh, there he goes. So from the very start of the movie, we have Din Djarin just like taking people out, and it kind of becomes almost 2 hours, broken up a little bit when he's, you know, knocked unconscious, but almost 2 hours of him just going into the next room to kill more people. And that kind of was really exhausting for me. Some of it was cool. I liked when he was in the water pit. I was a little confused on what he was standing on because it was a pretty deep water pit, but I enjoyed the scene. But as far as Mandalorian and Grogu goes, my biggest gripe is that the two main characters don't really have an arc. They don't really learn anything. They don't get anywhere. They just kind of go back to the same exact starting point as when they started the movie. There's no growth for the characters outside of maybe Grogu pressing a button on purpose in a ship. The only real arc of growth that I could, you know, that you could really quantify is Rada the Hutt. Because, you know, this is a guy who really wants to be his own man. He mentions it a couple times throughout the movie. He wants to be his own man.
I'm glad he did, because I missed it the first time. I was like, why is he doing this? And then he said, well, I want to be my own man. And I was like, oh, like you don't want to be like Jabba. Because I wasn't. I do like
that. I knew about the meme before I had seen the movie of like whenever Rada was shown on like online or whatever, everyone would like quote tweet it and says, I hope they make him his own man. I love that. I thought that was hilarious. I was totally on board. I did not realize, I thought it was just going to be like a stupid line in the movie. I didn't realize it was going to be a stupid line in the movie twice. Like almost back to back too. Like it was like scene and then another scene. And he's in the exact same location talking to the exact same two people. And it's almost verbatim the same exact line. I loved it. It's so funny. But I actually really liked Rada, and I liked Jeremy Allen White portraying him.
I love that scene where Rada and Grogu are playing on the beach, just like splashing around.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah. He's just loved babies. Like he's loved like little critters. He's just an innocent guy. But before we went to see the movie, Dakota and I were in the car, and he's like, I just really hope they make Rada his own man. And I was like, okay, I didn't say anything. And then we were talking, and then a couple of minutes later, he's like, I really hope they make Rada his own man. And I'm like, so is that in the movie? Why do you keep saying that? He's like, no, I'm just saying.
You know, I just don't want it to be like Jabba the Hutt, you know? I want him to, like, you know, grow into his own person, you know, be his own man.
So then when the scene came, I laughed the first time, and then when it happened again, I just lost it. Like, what?
So did you guys, like, on the theme of him being his own man, I saw some online criticism about, like, Hutts don't learn basic, how it's, like, the dumbing down of Hutties, essentially. Like why couldn't we get subtitles? Kind of like, did you have an issue?
We did get Hutties. We did get Hutties a lot with the twins.
Yeah, with the twins. But some people, like, I think.
But it doesn't make sense for Rada to. He's
why?
That would be like if I went to Mexico and insisted on speaking English, and everybody has to speak English with me.
Why do you think that he did it? Well, I mean, his dad always spoke Huttese, so like, why do you think that he chose to not speak Huttese?
I mean, it's
this is another rebellion.
He wants to be his own man.
Thank you, appreciate it.
You were trying to get me to say that, and I just wasn't following. I'm sorry.
I do like the idea that, you know, Jabba was just probably, you know, lazy and racist, and that's why he didn't ever decide to learn another language. which is fine. You know,
I mean,
it kind of fits that character.
I'm monolinguistic. I only speak one language.
Right, but in a galaxy
me...
where Huttese is not basic, you know, like it's not the basic language.
I feel like it's just a power play. He's like, you're all gonna listen to me speak, and you're gonna listen to my translators or bring your own.
I guess
like that was just like a power play.
I do like I like the twins a lot. I like I said, there's actually a lot of like little things that I was really on board with. I liked Nal Hutta, the Hutt homeworld. I love the way that their palaces are kind of built out of like organic materials, like spores almost. You know, they're just nasty spore people that live in the spores.
Like where they all like lay on top of each other in rooms.
Yeah.
They would just like go into their little corners and just like all lay, like there'd be like a couple of huts like all together.
Yeah, I think they were doing more than just laying.
I think they were just hanging.
Do you think they were just hanging? Okay.
I think that's just like how they spend their time.
They're just hanging.
I thought there was like a little.
You think they were hooking up?
There was like a hut that looked like
Littlefinger,
Littlefinger, so maybe it was like a brothel. I don't know.
I thought it was more of a brothel situation. Yeah.
I did not, am I at 12? I did not gather that at all. I was like, that's just how they...
Is it Bada Bing a dance place? They just go dancing at the Bada Bing in Sopranos.
Everybody just wants to dance and drink and have a good time. Wait, that was supposed to be a brothel?
I think so.
I thought that was just like their culture.
Well, I mean, it is their culture. They're kind of just they're literal sleazebags. Like that's if you could like picture a sleazebag, that's what Jabba the Hutt's shape would be like. You know, like he's a sleazebag.
Listen here, Sleemo.
They're pimps.
Sleemo.
Yeah,
they are pimps.
Man, I missed that. Went right over my little noggin.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I was just like, oh,
it's like Drax. You're like Drax. It's just right over your head.
They're like rolling on top of each other. I was just like, no.
Yeah, I felt uncomfortable.
It was like mud baths or something. I don't know. Like I literally didn't think it was sexual.
Those scenes literally made me feel.
I don't know how to sexualize the Hutts. Like,
I'm happy to hear that.
Most of us don't want to, you know.
Yeah, I'm glad it was just like short glimpses. But anyway, let's Sigourney Weaver's in this movie, and I thought it was really funny that like it seemed like she could care less that she was in this movie. You know, like she was like piloting an X-wing. She's just like, we're gonna shoot that. All right, let's do it.
She's professional. She's unfazed, undaunted.
Riley, I was so happy to see Riley in this movie. Like, I just love that Riley was able to survive the xenomorphs.
For those of you who have not like listened to our Alien episodes, this is an ongoing skit where Rich calls Ripley Riley. But yes, Riley was in this movie. She survived.
I enjoyed. I also enjoyed. What's his name? The alien. I can't remember his species. He was
Zeb.
Zeb. Yeah. Oh, I love Zeb. I see. Like, you know what the weird thing is? Like, I feel like so much happened in this show, right? That I don't know how you release this movie, right? Like, there's like the battle for Mandalore. There was like the different clans of the Mandalorian, race. Like, it's just like, how do you make this movie be more interesting with having like those battles, but you've already done it on the small screen? So like, I just, and then you'd have to like accept, or do you have to do a recap for people who didn't see the first 3 seasons? You know, like, I feel like they're in a hard place. Like, that's why I think they ended up going with this Rada storyline as being kind of the crux of everything, because how do you build off of it if you haven't already established it as a movie? Like, this is the establishment of Mandalorian as a movie to I'll call it the normie audience.
I also feel like people are saying, like, not that much, like, it feels more, I mean, I could see why people are saying it feels more episodic in nature, but like Din Djarin accomplishes a lot in like basically like a week-long vacation. He takes out the Empire dude. He frees Rada. Then he basically destroys the Hutt clan. Like, we need to think about how long the Hutts have been in power. literally since the beginning, since the original trilogy, the Hutts have been dominating and they have so much power. And Din Djarin just kind of like went through and blew their house up.
He didn't even like loot their corpses or anything. Like he completely decimated their palace.
Well,
I don't really agree.
Eaten.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I didn't really like that they blew up the palace on Nalhada. Like, I get the idea. They were working with the Empire, and they're not great individuals. But that seems like a war crime.
You sound like a
Because you're
separatist
not actually
right now.
at war.
You're sounding like a separatist.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like the separatist of this podcast, actually. But yeah, I liked Rada's arc was, for me, the most interesting thing about the movie. We meet him. He's like an indentured slave. He is trying to fight his way out of his debts, and he truly believes that the galaxy loves him for who he is. You know, like, he has made a name for himself, and it's so heartbreaking to see those people that he believes loves him turn on him the instant like he loses a battle, and they want him killed by the Mandalorian. And I think that that's like just the look of like disappointment that they were able to like put on a Hutt face was pretty incredible, to be honest. I liked that a lot. And the character from that point, you know, trying to make his way in the galaxy, trying to be his own man. Sorry, I'm going to keep saying that because that's kind of like the crux of his arc. But I thought that it was a really enjoyable portion of the movie, and I kind of wish the movie was more about him. And Mandalorian and Grogu were just kind of like the side characters. I wish. Honestly, this movie would have probably made a ton of money. Just a movie about a Hutt, you know, like, it's kind of like Ant-Man. Like, nobody thought Ant-Man was going to make any money.
I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like they were really hoping that the draw of Baby Yoda was going to get people into the theater.
I think it's
I'm not sure if I know who Baby Yoda is, but
Grogu.
Yeah, I think that this would have worked had they just kept it in a TV format. I really do think that because they haven't come out with a Star Wars movie in a long time, they're like, okay, you know, we've built up this IP, you know, let's put them on the big screen. But like, those characters aren't meant for the big screen. Not all of them are meant for the big screen. I would say the type of event that you put the Mandalorian on the big screen is like, because they want to do this whole Mandoverse thing, right? More with Ahsoka and like all these other characters, you know, maybe a large mashup of those characters. You know, it's got to be, you know, Star Wars movies, usually the draw is by making them an event movie, right? That's why a lot of the mainline movies drew big crowds, whereas like some of the other ones maybe not as much. Though I will say like the only one that was really worth seeing that wasn't a main Star Wars movie was Rogue One, right? The Solo one was whatever. Am I missing another one, or was that it? That was it, right?
Those are
just those two.
The two Star Wars stories ones.
Yeah.
I think you've heard Rich's.
My friend, if it wasn't for Solo, I wouldn't have had the experience of being in a red light and someone goes, "I got the same thing," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I rolled down my window and goes, "I got the dice too," because we both had Han Solo's dice that, of course, we all remember. Only exist because of the Solo movie dice that he had in his in all of his vehicles.
Also Emilia Clarke.
Oh yeah, well, I don't need to get
nothing else to say there.
Let's not
just
get into
Emilia
that.
Clarke.
Let's not get into that. This is a different show.
Something I wanted to talk about with the movie that we are discussing is one thing that I thought was really cool was the kind of like, I don't know, I'm interpreting it this way, but like the nod to George Lucas' personality with the fact that there are so many like old vehicle collectibles in universe at this point. George Lucas has always loved cars. Like, his first movie was about cars. He loves Formula One. And like, just seeing that they kind of have like all of the people have like vintage car collections, and they like kind of look at them, spec them out, and talk about that. And the fact that the Star Wars universe has been going on for this long, that we could see this fake vehicle that doesn't actually exist and go, oh, okay, that's like vintage from this movie, or you know what I mean? I think that's really cool, especially considering that George Lucas is opening up that museum where we're going to be able to see some of the vintage Star Wars vehicles. I just thought that was a really cool and fun thing, where I feel like the cars in Star Wars are not cars, like just, you know, the ships and like, you know, racers and all of that in Star Wars have always kind of had like so much personality and character, and people really just kind of, I mean, even you guys can't see this, but behind Rich on his wall is a bunch of different Star Wars ships. People really resonate with these items, and it's cool to see them kind of get carried over into this film as like valuable collector's items.
I was waiting for Anthony to actually say that it's Battlestar Galactica. No, I know I do agree with I like that the vehicles, you know, I mean, like I've studied all the different ships and like pride myself on being able to identify them. So it is really cool when like my nerddom gets rewarded. And I think that Dave Filoni, you know, like that's something that we really need to give him credit for. I don't think it's just member berries. I think he like works hard to like find like some like little Easter egg, you know, that it's really for the eagle-eyed person, you know, it's not for everyone, and he doesn't focus on it. I just think that he like sprinkles it around, and I think it makes it stronger. And you know, the whole Lucas idea, I think that also just like the look, like what you can say what you want to say about Return of the Jedi, you know, and there are the detractors for that movie, but this felt a lot more Muppety. You know, this felt a lot more like in that, you know, universe, right? Because of the Babu Freaks, you know, and Grogu, and I think that it's just a great entry point, man. Like I really do think it's a great entry point. You know, like if you bring your kids, you bring the uninformed to this movie, I think they're gonna be like, wow, that was really fun, you know, and they're gonna want to like, oh, what else is there, you know? And then maybe they'll go and watch the Mandalorian shows and the fantastic Book of Boba Fett, you know? Like they'll watch those, and they'll watch the awesome Obi-Wan show, you know? And then they'll be caught up. You know, like this is like top 3.
Anthony,
like
I did like the puppetry of the Anzellans.
What about Martin Scorsese's character?
I liked Martin Scorsese's character a lot, actually. The little food vendor, who just didn't want to give any information away. I really like, I forget the name of the alien species, but there's also one of those in Solo, a Star Wars story, who's played by Jon Favreau, I believe. Yeah, so this was Martin Scorsese's entry into the Star Wars universe. And he's such a lovable little guy. Anthony, did you think that this is a good entry point for, like, if you didn't know anything about Star Wars, is this a good spot to start, or do you need to know a little bit of background?
I think it's tough because they're kind of like, they're on the hunt for these, you know, imperial warlords, and you know, in a way you're kind of like, okay, like I don't know, I feel like the show like establishes that they exist with was it Moff Gideon. By the end of like the first 3 seasons, you get that, okay, like, you know, you have Moff Gideon, but then there's more of them. And so it's definitely like a continuation. This was essentially like a pseudo season 4, but maybe with a little bit of missing information, and maybe they needed a couple more episodes, right? Like this felt like it could have been 4 episodes. You needed like maybe another like 4 episodes to make it a full season.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, it's obviously, I mean, I think that Favreau's come out and said that they kind of, had a storyboard for the fourth season and just kind of made it a movie, you know. And it's just I feel like I really feel like the movie, if you had to make a Mando movie, you make it with, is it season 3 where he finally bests Moff Gideon and Luke's in it and Ahsoka shows up? Is that season 3 or is that half the season of Book of Boba Fett? I think it's maybe half the season of Boba Fett. But either way, like it's that would have been the most exciting part, right? Because like when the those dark troopers are showing up and things looking bad and the dark saber, right? Like those were the highest stakes, you know. But they had passed that point. Like I don't know, and I can't remember the timing of the pandemic and how that impacted everything, you know. But I wonder if that definitely slowed down the way they were going to release things, you know. And I do expect, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm gonna put my super fandoms. I'm gonna tell Lucasfilm or just listen, guys, you're gonna have to pay me more to be this positive if I don't get some more nuanced cliffhangery stuff, right? Like I think that's kind of what was missing from this. Also, I think we've gotten almost every Star Wars movie as a trilogy. And even when we didn't, Rogue One was essentially like sandwiched between two trilogies, right? Like, I think that's something that was missing. And I'll excuse it now, but I do expect like Starfighter to be more than this.
When is that supposed to come out again?
2027?
I think it's next year.
I mean, I think a big issue with the promotion of this film, because like one concern of mine was that not a lot of people were talking about it. Like there wasn't a ton of hype or anticipation leading up to it, and I think they kind of like, I mean, and I know like the Mandalorian, like Din Djarin isn't just played by Pedro Pascal, but I don't think they had like a ton of star power. Like Sigourney Weaver is fantastic and we all love her, but like I think the people who are going to go see her were going to see a Star Wars film no matter what. You know what I mean? Like if you love Sigourney Weaver, you're like a nerd like us. Like we love her from all the nerdy, amazing, like strong female characters that she's played. But there wasn't like a star to capture the kind of like random audience. And maybe I remember when the trailers came out, Dakota really hated the trailers.
Here's the thing. The trailers told you nothing. The trailers showed you a bunch of funny, quippy, actiony things that looked fun, but it told you nothing about the story. Basically, what they were showing us in the trailers was, this is a story about nothing. Nothing happens to these characters. They go from point A to point B, and then nothing happens there. Basically, most trailers will give you a hint of a story, a tease, something that you can latch onto. But there was nothing in this movie worth teasing. There was nothing in this movie worth explaining what the story was, what the stakes are, what they're here to do. And that's why the promotion didn't work on this movie. That's why nobody cared to see this movie. It's because nothing happened. Nothing.
See, I don't know. I don't actually agree with that. Like, even before you were saying that, like, they don't have an arc. Like, I do see a clear arc, at least for Grogu. It's, like, for both Grogu and Din, it's a story about how, like, the father was always taking care of the son. And, like, apparently they literally said that when I went to the bathroom. I missed that scene because I'm pregnant and I can't sit through a movie anymore. But, like, now it's the son trying to take care of the father. So yeah. you have Grogu, like, showing, you know, that he is able, like, he cares for his dad. He's able to go and, like, track him down and try to save him. But I did like how at the end, like, even after he saves him, he's still, like, a baby who doesn't have, like, spatial awareness, and he doesn't realize his dad won't fit in the ship. Like, that was so sad.
Oh, in the hut, yeah.
Yeah, but now it's, like, and they even have lines about how, like, Din's always kind of been afraid of, you know, not being able to be a good enough provider for Grogu. Like, there were times where he tried to give Grogu away to make sure that he maybe, like, was taken care of by better people, or his own people, right? But now he's kind of accepted, like, no, we are a clan, and I'm training him well, so he's going to be okay without me. even at the end of the movie, like, you kind of minimalized it by saying, like, now he can click buttons, but it's literally, he's learning how to drive. When your kid learns how to drive, you're probably going to cry.
Yeah, probably.
He's learning how to drive a vehicle. Like, this is a story about fatherhood, which is what the original trilogy was all about, was fatherhood, right?
Maybe it's going to hit harder in a couple of months, Dakota.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Dakota.
But I think I'm right in the sense that there was nothing for them to tell you about the story.
I think they could have probably played it up as, like, you're going to see Grogu go and save his dad, but they didn't do that.
I think they should have focused on the quest to save Rada. They didn't focus on that for at least the first couple trailers. They showed Rada in a fighting pit, and wow, he's fighting.
Yeah, they showed like cool stuff.
He's fighting at the Jarek table in real life.
Wait, I said that, and I said that in the car, and then you took.
You thought it was Dakota... the Sabak table.
I just forgot the name of the game. I said Sabak. He's taking my lines, guys. He doesn't say his sources.
It's a card game. It's ridiculous.
We've got like an F. Scott Fitzgerald and Zelda thing on. Like, sometimes I say my ideas, and then Dakota takes them and says them like they're his own.
Okay. Anyway, what I was saying is, they should have told you more about the quest that they were trying to embark on, instead of showing you cute scenes with Grogu, which is important, and action scenes with Din, which is also important.
Do you think there was?
But there needs to be a hook, like with the past couple Star Wars movies. If you can remember the trailers, there are lines, or there are like mystiques that like bring you back into the fold. Their first teaser for The Force Awakens, it's true, all of it. Or like Chewie, we're home. You know, like why were they away from their ship? What happened? You know, like there's something that brought you back. Or like with the Rise of Skywalker, you know, say what you will about how the movie ended up, the trailers were like really, you know, feeding into like everything comes down to this, you know, and you know that these characters exist, you know what they're doing, or you know what they're trying to do, and this is where it's all culminating. And you have wonderful lines in the trailers, even by like C-3PO.
My friends.
Yeah, he's just like, what are you looking at? See, what are you looking at, 3PO? And he goes, my friends. And it's just that.
I actually like started crying.
There's none of that in the trailers. There's none of that in the trailers for Mandalorian and Grogu, because there's none of that in the movie.
But there's not a lot of dialogue in the movie, because you have like the two main characters barely speak. Din Djarin, like, I think he doesn't talk. He's a quiet dude. You're a quiet fellow, actually, also, so you should appreciate that. And Grogu's just a baby boy.
Also, I feel like Din Djarin has kind of regressed a little bit as a Mandalorian, because for much of season 3, for a good portion of season 2, he was taking his helmet off all the time. Like it was a rarely an episode went by where Pedro Pascal's head was not, you know, on display.
That's kind of what I was getting at before, when I was like, they didn't really lean into the star power of Pedro Pascal, where like there should have been maybe a period of time where his helmet was removed for some reason, just for the trailers to get more footage.
Right.
Why can't they just do a Tony Stark thing, man? Solve all the problems.
What do you mean by that?
Like the way that,
and actually that's Jon Favreau. You know,
like Favreau himself like knew that to make Iron Man work, you needed to like find a way, and they did the inside of the helmet perspective, where we see Tony's face all the time, but we also see like the tactical readouts or whatever it is, right? And like I feel like it's weird to have Favreau be involved in this and not know that part, because I don't even need to have Din Djarin like move forward in his openness, like because he's out of the Mando closet and he can take his helmet off or whatever. Like I just think that like they could find a creative way to do it without without like, you know, hiding his face as often as they do.
I just kind of feel that like he's regressed back to Mandalorian season 1 like logic, in terms of like, I can never take my helmet off or else I will, you know, shame my entire race.
Anthony, do you think it's
after
like
that point
thing?
like say that
it's like a respect thing? Do you guys think that's respect? Like I didn't get the feeling here that it was like the religious aspect of like not taking the helmet off. I think it was like, you've disrespected me. Like,
oh yeah, well they took it off specifically to shame him and to, you know, disrespect his religious beliefs or whatever.
I did kind of appreciate though how Grogu, like when he was nursing him, kept the helmet on out of like a sign of respect for his dad.
Yes, that was cool.
Yeah, I thought that was sweet. Like he obviously doesn't wear a helmet, and that's like not part of his faith, but it was kind of like showing faith, like, or showing respect to other religions in a way.
Yeah, although he's a youngling now,
But is it just that he doesn't have a helmet yet? Like, what's the deal?
Not really sure. How do you put a helmet on that?
His little ears stick out.
Disney would never.
Can't cover that face.
You cannot.
That's the
cover
moneymaker.
That is the moneymaker. Although not this time around.
Damn. Oh wait, can I give a shout out to the music? I loved the music. The score in this film I thought was fantastic. I like that it kind of had a boxing theme, and I remember how do I say his name? Ludwig Göransson?
Ludwig Göransson. Yeah.
How he did the Apollo movies? He did the first.
He did he did all the Creed movies. Yeah.
Yeah, and like so I used to, when I would run, I would sometimes listen to those soundtracks, and I don't know, I feel like he kind of tapped into some of that for this one. I'd almost like the score almost had like you were mixing kind of Star Wars elements, but also like Rocky-esque elements that I really loved. I loved the scene where like Din was poisoned, so even though it's this like big battle scene and like at first it seems like he's kind of in stride and doing his thing, the music was showing his like personal struggle,
his decline.
Yeah, like the music kind of starts off like a little bit hyped, and then it just kind of slowly gets more and more, I don't know, somber, I guess, to show his descent. I thought that was really well done. And Dakota and I went to see it in the Dolby Theater, and my baby was bumping. Like those, like when the score would come on, he would just start like jumping around. Like he loved it. We're conditioning him to love Star Wars already.
The Mandalorian theme is coming on, and you just like feel like fist bumping.
It was crazy. Like it was
Fist
very
bump.
bassy, and so like the seat was like kind of shaking a little bit, and then I had like this internal bass just like jumping around.
You got the full 360 experience.
Yeah.
I would say, and I know this has nothing to do with the Mandalorian, but it is Star Wars. You were talking about how the seats were shaking. The most insane experience that I've ever had watching a Star Wars movie was watching Revenge of the Sith in 4D with like the moving seats. Yeah, I felt beaten up after that movie.
You needed like a Tylenol.
I really did. Like my back was like getting sore. Like I mean, when I say that they were like throwing you around, I thought I was gonna like fall on my seat a couple times.
Can I ask you a question? After that happened, like after that experience, did they at least give you like a little bit of juice so you guys could get some like energy?
They
Like
did
steroids?
have some like water that would spray, so it got a little juicy in there.
Oh, juicy, you say? What do you think about that, Dakota?
I think you guys should stop what you're doing right now. Except if you're listening to the podcast, don't stop listening. But you can go to your podcast application, find our podcast, and click that 5-star juicy review button. Give us 5 stars. Has to be 5. If it's not 5 stars, it's not juicy, guys. It's kind of just moist at that point. So it has to be 5 stars to be juicy. And anyway,
I feel like the juicy connection really should have come from that scene where the Hutts were in a debauched state.
No, we're not doing that. What we will do, when one of the Hutts wanted to eat Grogu, remember, like the twin sister, like she came up, she was like, "You look delicious," and he's probably really juicy.
Yeah, he probably is, honestly.
He's always eating those
With the amount of
juicy
frog
eggs.
eggs he consumes.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, please be sure to give us a 5-star review wherever you listen to your podcasts. It does help the show out a little bit. It helps us get pushed out to more ears. And yeah, final thoughts on Mandalorian and Grogu, guys. Let's start with Anthony.
I think it was a fun movie. Mandalorian, yeah, it definitely felt. It definitely felt like it had the season 3 vibes, and maybe it should have been a season 4 rather than a movie, but it was still a good time. If you like Grogu, then you'll like this movie because there's plenty of Grogu. There's definitely a lot of action, so if you love action, then you'll love this movie. How about you, Dakota? And why do you hate it, and why is it your bottom 5 MCU film?
There's a lot to unpack there, but I do think that for whatever reason, Dave Filoni really, really, really wanted a Rangers of the New Republic show. And when that got canceled by Disney, he did not change his plans per se. He just kind of stuffed that into Mandalorian season 3, stuffed a little bit of that into Book of Boba Fett, stuffed a little bit of that into Ahsoka, and is now continuing to stuff that into this movie. Because, since Mando season 3 and Book of Boba Fett, everything within the Mandoverse has been tangentially or like immediately connected to the Rangers of the New Republic arc, which is, they're trying to take down Imperial warlords. And I feel like this is a mistake. I think it's boring. I know that they're trying to reach an heir to the Empire storyline, but this wasn't the movie to start that off with. I think this was a critical error on Lucasfilm's part. I mean, I didn't dislike it. I will definitely watch it again. I can't wait to watch it with my kid. But all signs point to this being like a total misfire, because they are never going to get that Heir to the Empire movie now. They're never going to reach that point. They're going to have to do it on Disney Plus, which is a little bit frustrating because I would have liked to see that happen. But anyway, I think that this was an okay episode of Mando. Probably doesn't crack my top 5 episodes of Mandalorian, but
I feel like you're just mad at YouTube and like taking it out on this. My God.
No, these are my honest opinions. Like, I don't think this cracks it cracks a top 10 episodes of Mandalorian. But I will say top 10 MCU film. Yeah. Jen?
I enjoyed this. I thought it was fun. I feel like it's gonna have like rewatchability. I think kids especially are gonna love it because it is just like especially for like if you're like a 10-year-old boy, it's like fighting scene, cute Grogu, fighting scene, cute Grogu. I thought that was like really a good time. I liked I liked the artistry of it. Like, I'm a fan of the Muppets. I liked the puppets. I liked the Phil Tippett stop motion.
Yeah,
stuff.
we didn't even talk about the stop motion robots that they did.
Yeah, and the like CGI. I don't know. I thought it was just a lot of really cool, fun stuff. I see what you guys are saying. Like, plot wise, it was lacking. To me, it felt like it would be a fantastic video game. I would love to play a video game where I'm Din Djarin just like taking down bad guys, and then I get to be Grogu just like going through the forest for a little bit and like, looking for food to feed my dad. I feel like it would be a really fun video game and just like a fun rewatchable film. I really loved, and I forgot to say this before, Martin Scorsese's character, because it felt like a side character from Goodfellas. It reminded me of like the dialogue was very similar to like, I thought you said I'm okay, Spider. Like, where he's like, what, me? Who? I didn't say anything. I was just talking. I thought it was really fun. I enjoyed myself. And I see what you're saying, like marketing wise, and maybe for the overarching purposes of Star Wars as a franchise, this might be a setback, but it doesn't mean it's not something I can enjoy.
Here. Rich, final thoughts.
I think that maybe like younger Rich, I'm 43 now. 29-year-old Rich maybe would want more, right? But I went to the movies, which is, let's be honest here, a much more expensive experience than it used to be, and my entire family enjoyed it, and it's my favorite franchise. So that brought me joy. Was it the most? Was it, I love Heir to the Empire. I want that so bad in my life. So badly I want that. But, I still enjoyed it for what it was, right? Like, do I want more? Do I want Thrawn on the big screen? Do I want those weird animals that they're probably not going to introduce from the Heir to the Empire series, the Yazdrigul or something, that were able to block out the Force? Do I want Mara Jade? Do I want? Yes, I want everything. I want it all, right? But I was also happy to see this, and I laughed, and I enjoyed it, and I mean, it was a little long, and sometimes the fight scenes I thought could be cut shorter. But man, if this is like the first movie that I invite someone over to, and I'm like, hey man, I'm just gonna throw this on, I think like it's got enough hooks that can get people. Is it perfect? No, but it's like, I don't know. This is gonna be weird. I'm just like, it's like, I don't know.
It's okay to like a movie that like not everyone likes. Yeah. It's okay.
I would say,
yeah.
and I'll just say,
I'm glad you liked that. Honestly,
rip roaring good time. It's rip roaring good time, buddy. That's what I'm gonna say.
We need more Garazeb Aurelius. We need more Zeb.
Yes.
And I'm sad that like he was kind of just a side character who like popped in and out of this movie. But anyway, let's close this out. I got work early in the morning. Guys, thank you so much for listening to us here for episode 164. Why are you looking at me weird?
Wait, did Anthony get to go?
Yeah, he was the first one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you so much for listening to us here for episode 164 of Project Geekology. Not sure what we're covering next week. We will figure that out in the back end, and you will find out when you listen to episode 165. So be there and be square. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
A Wolverine.
Hey, hey, hey.